Hi everyone, and welcome to this week's EBC. We're at St. John's this week at our welcome rock to think about Luke 10 verses 1 through 11 and then 16 through 20. And when we think about what it means that all are welcome, we think about the idea that people are coming to us at church and that we're seeing them as strangers, but as people that we want to embrace in Jesus' love. Well, in these verses in Luke, Jesus is doing kind of the opposite, right? He sends out 72 people to towns, and he says to them, look, you're going to take nothing with you. He says, don't take any food, don't even take sandals. When you get there, you're going to go into sort of the first house you see, and if they welcome you, that's where you're going to stay. And I want to focus on that for just a moment here, on that sort of call to go out and preach the good news and what it is Jesus was asking of these 72 individuals. Now, they were going in pairs, so there was a little comfort there. But the first thing we maybe tend to focus on is the idea of what they've left behind, the idea that they'll have taken nothing of their own with them. But I want to think about that again from the standpoint of what they have when they arrive, when they get to that town and they have literally nothing. They need help. Jesus has put his own followers in the position of being outsiders in that community, and he's asking them to go there in that incredibly uncomfortable position and say to strangers, I'd like to stay with you. I'd like you to feed me. I am going to bring you peace. And he does say that all these followers are going to be healing people as they go. But it's not a transaction in which you're sort of trading something. It's not a transaction in which you've got a position of strength or power. He is putting his own followers in a position of need as they go out and proclaim the gospel. And I think that's really interesting, not just because of the risk that people are taking to go proclaim Jesus, but the risk that the people in the towns are taking too. Because Jesus definitely says that there's going to be some towns that do not want them there. And if they don't want them there, by the way, they're supposed to make a point of brushing the dust off their sandals and leaving that town. But there are going to be some people who do welcome them. And what's the risk for the people who do welcome them? Do you think the person that is welcoming Jesus' followers knows that everybody in the town is okay with it? Right? Probably not, right? So there's risk on both sides. But Jesus is deliberately putting himself in a position of need, putting his followers in that position of need in order to go out and proclaim the good news. Now, the great thing is, we know it works. And we know it works because the 72 come back, and they are joyous. They are talking to Jesus about the fact that they were able to heal people, they were able to cast out demons in his name, and they are incredibly happy about it. But Jesus gives a caution at the end of all of that. And the caution is, don't be joyous for the fact that you've been given this power. Be joyous for the fact that you've got a place in heaven. And I think that's a reminder that even when Jesus has given us great gifts, take risks to go out and show those gifts to others. It is not the point of those gifts to then make sure that we're sort of very proud about ourselves and accumulating things to ourselves or power to ourselves. It's still all about proclaiming Jesus. So this week, as you're going about your life, as you're going out and taking risks to tell people about Jesus, to show people who Jesus is in your love for others, be confident that Jesus is with you. Be confident that he wants you out there taking risks. And if you're on the other side of that, be confident that he wants you welcoming those who come in his name as well. Everyone, have a great week.